How are you, Mr. McCartney?
Okay, thanks. Fine. This afternoon?
It's a lovely afternoon.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Dark out, but
wonderful. But otherwise wonderful. It is alleged by certain people in your organisation that you're very soon off to America. Does that fill you with delight?
Yeah, it's good. I enjoy it in America. I think I like England much better as a place.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It's the attitude of the people generally in America that makes it not as good a place to be in as England.
What do you mean? Sort of just more intolerant or more?
Well, I don't know really. The kind of people we meet in America tend to be, heads of corporations and publicity men and things. So I know we don't get a good view of American life, but they all seem to believe that sort of money is it, which is true to an extent, but not all the time. They believe in it all the time.
Yeah, well, they've carried it all much further than we have, haven't they? They're much more efficient about it and much more frightening about it, aren't they?
Much more frightening.
Eleanor Rigby, which I think is brilliant, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it's brilliant, but it's nice of you to say that, David.
Seriously, it's just the greatest thrill for me to be able to say this. But why isn't it brilliant? Well, or why is it only fairly brilliant?
It's not even fair. I'm talking about the arrangement.
Yeah.
See, when I first did the arrangement, I've hardly ever done arrangements like this before, and I do it with George Martin because I can't read or write music, viewers. And so I thought, well, I'll sort of have an attempt at something I think's sort of real, in a way. The sort of real arrangement of a thing, rather than just repeating things all the time. And I had a go at it and was pleased with it, and then I liked it when the session men did it. But when I heard it a bit later, somebody said something about I like the Walt Disney send-up arrangement at the end. And I suddenly heard it as that, because that's what the end of it is, particularly. But it's a bit like that. It sounds to me now a bit like a send-up arrangement. But I didn't mean it to be. It just shows me that, I'm a younger arranger.
Looking back on the thing a few weeks later, are you ever completely satisfied by a record?
No. No, that's the trouble, you see. Immediately we've done an LP. We want to do a new one because we're a bit fed up. And the time it takes a record company to get it out, by the time it's out, we really hate most of the tracks.
Well, let's say
that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. Dirk Bogarde, I'm sure, would love. Have you heard any Dirk Bogarde records before?
Well, yes, he did a great one in 32.
Oh, it's
one of his best
32
albums.
RPM.
Yes.
Can you think of any record that's still... Not really, I suppose. You've moved on all the time, so none of them really satisfy you.
Records of ours?
Yeah.
No, I go off records because of that. Because if we're developing, which I suppose we are,
yes.
We must be, because we've changed from about 2 or 3 years ago, then the stages of the development, seem a bit cornier, sort of 2 or 3 years ago, than they are now. And I don't know, for that reason, I suppose I go off records a bit quicker than anyone else would.
You go off other people's records as quickly?
No, I don't, I mean, I've heard records, like old Elvis records, that I still like. Because it reminds me of what I thought then about them. But they sound completely different now, if you know how things are recorded, and how sort of you get tones on guitars. But then it was like, it was all magic,
Yeah.
So hearing that kind of record now, it's just great for the nostalgic thing.
So you still like what of Elvis's sort of old things like?
Oh, Don't Be Cruel. All the old corny ones, but I think they're great, because they remind me of sort of fairgrounds and things.
If Roy Plumley was carrying you off to his desert island, you'd take one or two old Presleys with you.
I'd idea. Well, I'd take Roy Plumley. Yeah. No, I don't think. I don't know really. I think I'd just take enough equipment to sort of get a boat back. I think I wouldn't bother with records.
Assuming, of course, you also have a gramophone. Do you hope lies in the future, really? I mean.
This is. I don't know. Lots of people sort of ask this question, because I think people.
Yes, I know people
think.
Yeah. I'm sure you've got a set answer.
No, not really. The set answer is just as vague as most answers. But the idea is that there are lots of things that I want to do, I'm not sure what they all are yet. So I think I'll try and sort of spread myself thin for a bit. And then choose something. But something completely different, just to try
a bit of the relaxing, as it were.
Well, I don't know, yeah, in a way, but also trying things at the same time.
But I always get the impression that even compared with the other Beatles, that in fact there are more things you really want to do, aren't there, than the others? I mean, there are lots of fields that you...
Well, I don't know, really, I talk to the others, and they all want to do probably as many things in their own ways. Obviously we don't all want to do the same kind of thing, because we're not all the same kind of people, exactly. But, for instance, George loves Indian music, and he really wants to find out about it. So that'd be good, because, we can't be about 40 and still going on there, can we?
You can make great return appearances like Gracie Fields.
Yes, I think we might make...
Because you've modelled your career on, of course, Gracie Fields.
Well, she was one of the influences at the beginning, I must admit.
Do you cherish, as I do, assorted strange press cuttings about things? I remember one that came from a Scottish paper that I've still got that says they were trying to say David Frost is only 27 but he looks much older, and the figures got transposed and it came out as David Frost is only 72 but he looks much older, which is basically true, as you can see, but no television makeup on or anything. But similar ones happen to you?
Well, yeah, it's somewhat similar. When we were in the States the first time, we got a big publicity build-up and things, and everybody's, was running around and sort of writing stories and things. When we went back the second time, we came in at the other side of America. We came in San Francisco and things, and so there were quite a few articles over there, but a lot of the news kind of reached them, at the time, because there was this sports writer in San Francisco Chronicle or something, who wrote this article about our arrival, and he was sort of tying it up as a sort of, with his lead story, and introducing the whole thing. He said that, today there was a lot of screeching and screaming, and all the office girls ran over to the window, and then I knew it was, of course, John, Paul, George, and Harold, the famous four. And he meant it,
I often think Harold would rather be one of the famous four, but it's said that your disc jockeying days are a long, long way in the future. I've never done a record show before, but I always like doing new or different things. What would you say is a must to include in programs like this?
All those sort of little commercials for the program, definitely, I think,
How do you mean?
Well, sort of where the trumpets sort of go, da-dun, D, da-dun, A, and spell your name out, and then sort of,
very good.
It's like an epic, so it's like a bit of an epic show. I can get a few of those listening figures back, off those other people.
But those other people who should be nameless and indeed shameless. And there's a marvelous...
Pity about them.
Well, it's very sad, really. There's a marvelous ad in one of the magazines which says that one of them gets the sort of attention that some advertising director needs, but it's going to be detention very soon. We'll start an epic. We'll have an epic opening for you next week, in fact.
Yes, some trumpets and things.
Trumpets, fanfares. And the initials spelt out, yes.
Exciting. The old commercial feel.
In a purely non-commercial and completely non-profit-making way. We could bring in the BBC motto, "Nation shall speak peace unto nation," too.
Well, the NDO could do the arrangements,
Very good. Excellent idea. Come to the end of the programme, Paul. Have you some message for the people of the world?
Well, not really, David. I'd just like to say thank you for being a wonderful programme, and I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did.
That's beautiful, and it wasn't scripted. You just absolutely thought of that on the spare.
Well,
it's very wonderful to have you on this wonderful programme too, man. Thank you very much indeed for coming along.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. In fact, we should say to people at home that this show is live every week. It was live last week. We'll be live again next week, but this week I had to record these sections of the programme because, alas, I'll be abroad and Paul's just off to America. Though, of course, thanks once again to the wonderful techniques of the BBC. Wonderful techniques of the BBC. You'd never realise it. Realize it.